Southern District Spartans, and the Carina League Club, Southern District Titans. I begin today by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land in which we gather all here today and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I extend that respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders peoples here today. Introducing first, the away side, the Carina League Club, Southern District Spartans, from the bench, number 5, Dylan Barber. Number 7, Hayden Seaver. Number 9, Braden Foxley Connolly. Number 11, Zach Benz. Number 12, Jack Thomas. Number 17, welcome back, Ryan Williams. Number 23, Jake Forward. And your starting 5. Number 0 and captain, John Barkley. Number 2, Daniel Anstey. Number 4, Ethan Red. Number 8, Mitchell Duncan. And number 51, Agustin Alejos Alonso. The Carina League Club, Southern District Spartans are coached by Tom Kyle, assistant coach Gus Alonso, and their manager is Jane Kyle. Now introducing the home team, the Carina League Club, Southern District Titans, from the bench, number 2, Jessica Keeley. Number 5, Dylan Robinson. Number 7, Bucky Brett North. Number 9, Charles Smart. Number 21, Jordan Williams. And your starting 5, number 13, Reese Higgins. Number 18 and captain, Nakia Pautau. Number 24, Tony Murray. Number 30, Braden Pepper. And number 32, Peter Berry. The Carina League Club, Southern District Titans, their head coach, Thomas Kyle, assistant coaches, Brad George, Darryl White, and Matt Roden, and the manager, Sharon Forward. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, please stand for the playing of the national anthem.
Yes, good evening everyone and welcome to our Round 7 clash here for our Friday, August 8th We are live here at Rowell & Cohen Centre in Brisbane. My name is Dylan Kimlin. Sitting alongside me is Mal Crawford as we're about to get underway with the Southern Districts Titans taking on the Southern Districts Spartans. Fair to say a bit of a brotherly bash here, Mal, and no doubt we're set for a doozy.
Yeah, we certainly are, and of course, Spartans need all three of these victories for their playoff hopes to remain alive. But both Coach Kyle's father and son, we obviously went down and had a chat ahead of time with Tom Kyle, and one of the key things that he really talked about was that idea of full respect to the opposition. Yes, the Titans haven't won a game yet. But we use that word yet because they've been in games, they've been hustling, and look, Spartans cannot take this Titans squad lying down. They need to really step up big and get it done early.
Yeah, not wrong, mate. And we just saw the national anthem viewers as our players are raring ready to go, and just under the 2-minute timer now. And you're right, mate. We've got some pretty fiery players here from the Spartans. I mean, we were discussing it earlier today with the 3v3 that was on earlier, and my goodness, viewers, banter was at an absolute premium in that one, so hopefully we see the vocal cords well and truly in use today.
Yeah, look, it was great to see all the other players at halfway getting stuck in, but Spartans were able to come away with that one off the back of a Dylan Barber late 2 in the last minute to seal the victory 8-6. Is that a omen for today's game? Or we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, talking about omens, you mentioned we were talking to the coaching staff earlier this evening. The very first match that I got to call for the WBA was actually the Spartans, and they got up on that one. So that was a bit of an omen, Coach Kyle said. And speaking of coaching staff, we can see them just getting in a big old huddle and getting everyone ramped up. And Mal, you've obviously played basketball yourself, mate. Huddle before a match, general feelings that you'll see with our players on court.
Yeah, look, starting 5 will be, trying to get in the mindset, listening to coach, lock in, they're ready. Bench is probably, those on the bench a little bit more relaxed because they don't have the stress. They can, their subs will come, their opportunities will come potentially, in a couple of minutes, but they'll be just making sure that they're aware of coach's message for when their call comes.
Yeah, not wrong, viewers. And this is a 6v7 battle here for our round 7, and fantastic weekend of basketball we have ahead for you as the players entering the court. And as always, a big thank you to all of our referees, scorers and volunteers getting behind us tonight. Good spectator turnout as always, and we hope you're enjoying the broadcast in what will come down to, no doubt, a great battle between these two sides.
And a quick shout out, of course, to our referees, Jack Kajar, Christian Ryman and Kim Walter. And of course, all three we've seen throughout this NWBL men's league rounds across Queensland here, but specifically, of course, here at Rowell & Cowen.
And it looks like the gentlemen are ready to get going. Of course, a big thank you to Beluga Foundation and Carina Leagues Cup for getting behind our teams in our league. Let's get started. Round 7 underway. Spartans v Titans. And immediately tap goes the way of the Titans, and we do see strong starting lineup. There's a quick charge in and a big fling, and if you don't mind, okay, that is one way to start a game, Mal. My goodness, what a 3.
Yeah, Gus Elios Alonso, he's not afraid to fire away. And I was talking to Taylor Earnshaw ahead of time, and she was telling me both these Spartans and Titans squads have been frothing these 3-game series all season, and for it to be on right at the end of the regular season, they're absolutely pumped. And as you can see, we've got chairs banging everywhere all across the court, and they're getting straight into it.
Oh, it's good to see, mate. And our starters for the Titans, we will see Higgins, Fatal, Murray, Packer and Berry. And on the side of the Spartans, Mal, if you want to read out the starters for our viewers. Nice shot there, immediately underway.
Yep,
nice
we've got Mitch Duncan, Ethan Laird, Jordan Bartley, of course Gus Elios Alonso, and Laird flying into the key there with Gus popping in for 2, and expect to see a lot of that action tonight. Laird has been absolutely monster for these Spartans all season. And, of course, our final one for the starting five is Daniel Anstey for Spartans.
And we can see the quick ball out and a fiery start here, viewers, at a 5-2 scoreline. Nice pass. You see the fling in. Pop-up is there. Goes long, and the board will go the way here of the Spartans, who opt to take their time. A little bit more of a cautious approach, considering how well they've been shooting thus far, Mel.
And Reece Higgins was open. It was the right shot. Just didn't drop in the end.
Yeah, Alonso passing it out. Some good movement here for the Spartans. And we talk about open looks. Not the case here. The shot goes up. Does not matter. Contested shot in.
That's a classic Ethan Laird manoeuvre. Not afraid to fire away. And, doesn't matter if it's a fadeaway. He's got the strength in those arms to knock it down from pretty much anywhere. Yeah,
well, he immediately gets a steal as well after that fumble on the side of the Titans. And off the backboard, if you don't mind, Gus is on a roll. He's got 7 to his total already. Scoreline here of 9-3, viewers, for our first.
Hey, look, and Gus is absolutely deadly. Obviously can knock him down from range, but that elbow space is a dangerous place for Titans to leave Gus alone.
Big shot for 3. All just rims out. And the big man once more with the rebound. He's been racking it up quietly, and a healthy start here for Spartans, and a big charge over the back pass. And all just bounces out. But we can see immediately the clear intent here from the Spartans to get into the paint as early as quick as possible.
Yeah, and look, nice little run there from Gus. Almost played the decoy after having the last couple of baskets.
They've had a bit of a collision here, and the ball did go up, but did not go in, so our officials see to it. And we will see the inbound here on the side of the Titans. And, yeah, it does seem to be slight different play styles here thus far, Mal, with the Titans seem to be jack up a lot more shots, whereas it does seem the Spartans are getting in close to the paint as quickly as they can.
Yeah, look, Spartans aren't afraid to get into their half-court actions. Titans, on the other hand, have some range, and there's that man right there in Peter Berry, and he is range personified for this team, and absolutely fearless from it. Will not ever think, I'm not sure the next one's going to go in, he's going to fire away.
Yeah, Berry, of course, the points leader for his side this season. That's a nice shot off the backboard. Gus on 9. And look out. He is playing some high-quality basketball thus far. And nice transition here in a 3-on-3. Some good zoning here from the defensive side, however, causing the 3-on-3. We talked about the threes earlier. Nice cut is there. Ball goes up, and the own rebound. Well, they were legging it, mate, before they could get a chance to score.
Yeah, look, just that clear intent to get back and not give easy shots to Spartans.
Oh, nice shot.
Almost gave away some points. But the big man, of course, Cody Murray, able to get into the paint, get into the good area and fire that one away.
Yeah, scoreline here of 11-7. Open man, big shot if you don't mind. Nails it. Jordan Bartley with the 3. And that is 2 3-pointers here for the Spartans with some terrific shooting early on. Well, the whistle's blown, but no, play on. Which we'll see a nice screen, Mal.
I think it's come from one of the other background courts, that one.
And there's Murray as well, retrieves it. And here he is, the assist and the steal leader for his side with a quick pass. Jacking it up, rolls out, and the board there goes to Aleos Alonso once more. Big grin on his face. He's enjoying himself.
Always does. Always does.
And a solid cut here. Laird kicking it out. And some good movement here from the Spartans. Shoots it up, and that's his first miss of the day. And the rebound here. Good run once more. And we'll see what the call is. Oh, our scorer's desk getting involved. They're also having a big smile on their faces, enjoying themselves.
Yeah, a little bit more involved than they perhaps thought they should have been, but look, that's always the case. You know, when we've got the extended scorers table and there's not a whole lot of space, all the way around here. So
big thank you to all of our timekeepers and scorers. Invaluable in all of our sports across the country. And here we go. We do see movement here for the Titans. Oh, nice shuffle through. But unfortunately, and we are seeing, Mal, just that they are getting open looks, just execution's a little bit off.
Yeah, not dropping so far, but of course you're going to see that. That Nakia chair control is absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
We saw that on show there. The shot didn't drop, but look for him to still obviously be a huge part of this Titans game here today.
And that was a great pass across, and the board here going once again to the Spartans, who are opting to take their time. Jacking it up is another 3 attempt. Gets his own board, passes it through. Alonso, good hands once more, and we can see immediately Bartley getting involved. Oh, unfortunately unable to get the defensive rebound.
Yeah,
Kicks
Peter Berry
out.
just had that defensive finger right up in the face, and it was enough to push the shot right. Ooh.
And one, yep. Great pass there from Laird to get to the open man with Gus Alonso once again. Racking it up. He has 11 to his name with a free throw to boot. And despite the defensive efforts here of the Titans, Spartans just a little bit more cleaner from the offensive side of the court.
But look, like we talked about with Coach Tom Kyle of the Spartans, he really wanted to get out to a fast start. I think they definitely can tick that box here, because they've got out to a 10-point lead here early with 6 minutes gone. But not only that, a true offensive intent has been very much on show here for the Southern District Spartans.
Oh, you're spot on, Mal. And like we said earlier, the Titans are getting open looks. It's just the shots that they're not able to execute. And talk about defensive efforts, terrific play there from Spartans, keeping their friends in the Titans off from shooting. You reckon they're friends on court, mate?
Outside of the whistles, yes.
Yeah. I reckon there'll be plenty of banter and chats going on after this match,
yes.
Viewers.
And potentially there'll definitely be some banter, I imagine. But it'll be very much game on, as we've seen so far.
That is a terrific cut there from Laird, who is the assist and steal leader for his side this season. Did well, and here comes the outbound is good from the Titans. And we can see 3-on-2 here outside of the three-point line. Nice open man. He's there with the shot, and that there was Murray. But we will see Fa'atal kicking it across once more. Open look again, but distance there, Mal.
Yeah, look, a little bit short on that one there from Peter Berry. But we are going to see that a little bit today. Neither team necessarily shoots 100, but it's been very physical at the moment, so that one's just a little bit long from Laird. He tracks down his own. Very physical and lots of chair speed shown, so that's going to tire out the arms potentially a little bit earlier than normal.
Yeah, that's a very fair point, and terrific offensive board off of his own miss there from Laird, and the defensive effort here from the Spartans is good. We've had a little bit of a clash, and we've got a substitution here.
Yeah, we've got Peter Berry's chairs, just a little bit of a break from the contact. But Captain Forward from the Spartans just quickly tightening back up, and helping out there. So that sportsmanship we expected to see is on show early.
Yeah, and we can see Charles Smart and Jordan Williams coming in here for the substitutes. And you talked about collisions. Oh, what a shot. Clean off the board, if you don't mind. Laird starting to really get involved here. So nice seeing a shot off the glass, Mal.
It is, especially outside regular banking hours. But look, also expect Laird to roll out to three, and he's currently third in the league for made threes in a game. So expect at some point, and I can confirm he's not afraid of it if we're going to leave him open. But I suspect the the Titans may have seen that on the scouting report somehow. Something's telling me. Something's telling me.
Yeah, good ball out, and here we go, open cart 1-on-1. Defensive effort is there, contested shot off the backboard, does not go in, the board going the way once again here to the Spartans, and the fast break is on. 2-on-3 here in the paint. Laird surveying the scene, flinging it out. His teammate Bartley with the ball. Has a collision, recovery there from Murray is good. Immediately flings it out, and we have an open man 1-on-1 here. The big man himself, who's been very involved, taking his time. 21-7 scoreline here. And they would love to get something on the board here. Big three goes up and unsuccessful. And Laird is lightning out on these fast breaks. Opts to take it himself and has a tumble.
And that's going to go the other way quickly. Laird definitely is very quick on the fast break, but he's also been lightning quick getting back defensively.
Yeah.
Flying back the court, and that's twice now he's gotten back to bother Peter Berry, and Spartans have then come away with a stop not long afterwards due to the hustle, because you cannot leave a player of Peter Berry's calibre with half a sniff at an open basket.
Yeah, spot on, mate. And Berry has been racking it up this season, so you definitely understand the defensive element of trying to lock down his opponent. Substitutions here on the side of the Spartans, which we'll see Zach Binns coming in, as well as Jack Fullwood. And the fellas immediately kicking it out here to Laird, and there's that lightning fast pace we're talking about. Layup is there, and no foul called, but the Spartans retrieve their own. The big man with the cut, Laird taking his time. Now there was to a 1-on-2. Whistle is called, Mal, and we've got less than a minute here to go in our first, and the Titans started well. They were shooting very well at the start, but they've pitted off a little bit. I think. Do you reckon it's the defensive effort of their opposition, or?
I think so. I think it's the real hustle of the defense. But expect Titans, I think, on the other side of this quarter time to come out with after a fresh chat with Coach Thomas Kyle. Just a little bit refocused, a little bit calmer.
Steal.
But again, Spartans bringing that hustle. They know to have any chance of making the finals, they need to win all 3 games here this weekend. Yes, they need other results to go their way as well with the Red Dust. But first things first in these situations, you got to win your games. And that's they've come out and shown big effort early. Let's see if they can continue it.
Yeah, open layup off the board. Yes, it is. And that there results. Peter Berry, we mentioned him earlier. 4 points to his tally. And here's the dangerous man jacking up a 3. Unsuccessful. 23 seconds to go here, and we will see the rush is on for the Titans. Open look. Good movement. And there's a big pack there in the paint. Jacks it up. Rebound recovered. Unfortunate. Did have another open look, and we do have 4 seconds left. Can they beat the shot clock? From half court, if you don't mind. Ooh. And that is the first at a 21-9 scoreline here, Mal. It's a pretty exciting way to get us underway between these two sides, and no doubt the Carina Leagues Club will be loving what they're seeing from the hometown heroes.
For sure. And look, I think Titans have come out, they've done okay. They've got some good looks. Ball just hasn't really dropped in the last, I want to say, back half of that first quarter. But they've been able to get some good looks, get some good shots up. They just haven't fallen. So realistically, I'm okay with that, coming through the first quarter. Yes, you're down, but, you've had some really good looks. You've got some good looks in the paint. You've also had some good screen and roll action. But, Spartans, on the other hand, of course, as we talked about during that quarter, they've come out very strong. They've pushed the ball when they've had it. they've looked to go up the court early and they've hustled defensively. So they haven't let Titans come out and get a real start going. And I'm sure Coach Tom Kyle is down there saying something to that effect. But the message will also, of course, be, we can't stop now.
Yep.
We can't let them back in. We've got to run. We need to keep that amazing tempo we've got going. But at the moment, they're hustling down on the offensive end. They're getting good looks in the paint. Titans are doing an okay job of keeping Spartans' chairs out of the paint and forcing some outside looks. But I wouldn't be surprised if in this next quarter we see more three balls and Spartans looking to really stretch the floor a little bit. But I think they've done a great job at both ends, obviously, and the work they've done on the defensive end and that transition defense has been absolutely fantastic. And you can circle one, Ethan Laird, as the one who's been absolutely pushing the tempo from that space. But he is now off to start the quarter, so can Spartans keep the momentum rolling? They've got the pieces, but can they do it coming into halftime break?
Yeah, let's find out, viewers, as our second kicks off. And as what has been a solid battle here early on for your Friday evening of Wheelchair Basketball Australia. And that there is a great start.
Yeah,
and there he is.
Berry getting into his area. Of course, he's got range beyond, but looks a lot better, about a metre in, pretty much from exactly where that was. And that one splashed for him, and the exact start that Titans wanted here.
And we got a foul here, and we did see Bartley bringing the ball in, kicking it across to teammate Binns, who had a bit of a clash. But all is okay. And we can bring it in once more. Out to Seba. There's his mate Bartley once more. And there's that open look. Shooting it up. Ooh, just rims out. Rebound once more. And fair to say that Nakia has been busy on the boards thus far. Been racking it up for his side.
Certainly has been. And look, Seba has that shot within him, especially if he's going to be left that open. So he does typically only average about 2.1 points per game this season. But if you're going to be left that open, show them what they're not getting in front of and make them pay.
Yeah, and talking about making them pay, that is a difficult shot. Shot clock was winding down, and the board here will go the way of the Spartans, who have the fast break, but solid defensive effort. We talked about the defense from the Titans and what was required.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job now of keeping Spartans out of the paint and doing it with numbers as well. So, and because of that, no easy shot, no let off. The ball's had to go all the way around, and sure enough, before you know it, we've got a turnover going the other way, and Titans ball.
Mate, you mentioned it too. You expected the Spartans to be attempting more threes. They're solid defensive effort to keep them out of the paint. So obviously, Coach Kyle might be listening to your broadcast words of wisdom, mate.
Oh, look, you never know. But I think realistically, I'd be the one lining up to listen to Coach Kyle.
Yeah.
Wealth of experience, and of course, has himself quite a good, quite a great squad here in this Spartans crew, especially in year 2 of the program. So Titans year 1, Spartans year 2. Didn't make finals last year, but they can. Which going into the final round, got to be happy with that. If
exactly.
Fan.
No, it's definitely shows the sign of improvement for a team, and that's an open cut. Layup is there and goes in, and we will see Jordan Bartley with the score. Now our starters thus far, viewers, for the Titans, we have Brant North, Charles Smart, Nakia Fatal, Jordan Williams, and Peter Berry jacking up a 3. Oh, just rims out, and for the Spartans, we do see Jordan Bartley, Hayden Seba, Mitchell Duncan, Zach Binns, and Jack Fullwood. And this is that paint dominance that we talked about earlier. The Spartans, however, do get the open look in the paint. One arm shot, if you don't mind. That's a beautiful look.
Yeah, looks Spartans had to reverse that ball all the way around to get it, but they were able to get it into Fullwood, who is dangerous in and around that block to the exclusion zone. Because of his body size, he's able to just get a little bit of separation in the chair and get a little bit easier looks up defender, depending, of course, a lot of the time.
Yeah, and, good board. There we go. That lands in there for the Titans, and we've got to say, Berry now, you know, we talked about the defensive presence of Laird earlier. Berry's now had a couple in this quarter as a result.
Yeah, no, he's had good position inside and, you know, racked up a couple as well.
And that there looks like a 3-second violation here. Some good defense from the Titans and a scoreline here of 25-13. They've stopped the bleeding a little bit here, Mal.
A little bit, and with a 3-second call, no less. It's if you got your bingo card at home, you probably would have looked at 3-second rule and thought, that might be a tough one to get, but in the game of basketball nowadays. But yeah, rare call, but it has been done.
It's good to see, and this man has had his mitts all over it thus far. Fatau jacking up a shot, goes long, and we do see the board here for Seba. Opts to bring it up himself and immediately goes through to the three-point line, and this is where we've been talking about it. Nice cutback pass. Seba with the inside look, and a swipe is there. Foul is called. And I have noticed something, Mal, that it does look like the Titans are opting for more of a fallback on the defensive side of things, whereas Spartans, it's almost like a full-court press. They're immediately locking down the defense.
Yeah, they have been, and it has worked early, especially at the later end of that first quarter for Spartans. Are really able to basically stamp out any scoring from the Titans. But the Titans now are relying on that paint, and little cuts like that from Jordan Bartley are dangerous here for the Titans, and Spartans have that within them. So it's a tricky one, and you've got to always be vigilant, and it's always tough when you're really trying to lock down the paint. One chair free, and all of a sudden it's problematic.
Oh, there we go. The board is good, and there he is again. Berry has been racking it up, and I believe that might be his 11th point for the game thus far. Great effort here from Berry, and it has to be said, Mal, that we haven't had any substitutions, so the starters have been off for quite a while now here to have a breather, and we've got a good fight on our hands as a result. 12-point game, the board going the way. There he is again once more. Berry to bring it in. And that full court press not initiated. We'll see how the Titans go here. Jacks up a three. And a little bit unsuccessful there, but you have to say this has been a very positive quarter here for the Titans.
It certainly has been, which of course, basketball fans, want to see that. They don't want to see one team, continuing to stretch. But like we talked about after that first quarter, Spartans were in the box seat. So I weren't sure if Titans were going to be able to clap back. So far, 5 minutes through the second quarter, they have done exactly that.
Yeah, and terrific effort there on the defensive from the Titans. They're showing some fight here. And this man, once again, Fatau with the ball in. Whistle's called. Live here at Rowland Cowan Centre. If you are just tuning in, viewers, we've had a fiery first quarter. And we're about halfway through the second. And this has been a lot of fun. Once again, big thank you to Beluga Foundation for giving us the opportunity to enjoy our wheelchair basketball events this season. And we do see the Titans bringing it in once more. North kicking it out. There he is again. The man Peter Berry gets an open look in the paint. No over the back. It's okay. There we go. Solid board for the Spartans.
And look, that's great hustle there from Jordan Williams. Got himself in a good rebounding position. And, yes, didn't get the basket, but got some good looks. And by getting his chair in a good spot and just fighting for the ball. So love to see that hustle.
It's one of my favourite things in basketball, mate. Offensive rebounds. Just shows the sheer fight on display from our players on court. And the Spartans here will get the inbound. The big man to bring it in. Forward's been pretty prominent since he's substituted in. And we do see, speaking of substitutes, do see some players here with Jack Thomas coming in, as well as Ryan Williams. There's the kick.
Yeah, we've got some Titans at the score bench as well, so next chance they'll be checking in as well.
And looking for an immediate impact, Williams unsuccessful with the shot from deep. Fartel to bring it out. Berry. And there's that defensive effort. Screen is applied from Reese Higgins, who is also here. Berry. Not much opportunity. Shot clock is there. Fartel has to bring it up. Just rims out.
Yeah, look, it's a couple of times now Titans have run out of clock, and Fartel has had to get it up quickly. Neither one have dropped so far, but of course, always beats just holding on to it and letting the shot clock violation happen. So eventually, one of these looks is going to go.
Talking about good looks, beautiful cut there for the Spartans. A 1-2 punch, and that makes it a 14-point difference once again. And here's that full court press again, Mel.
It is off the back of that Jordan Bartley basket. Now he's got a steal to his name, and again, that just purely and wholly and solely comes from that defensive pressure that Spartans are able to put together as a team.
And Bartley with the ball, kicking it in, open look, kicks it back out, and that they'll roll out of bounds, which we'll see how.
Yeah, always frustrating when you're someone like Reese Higgins there. Had an opportunity, just couldn't quite grab a hold of it. It's come off his chair.
Now it looks like we are going to have a substitution here for the Titans. So Murray will come back on.
And Jayshar Keatley checking in for Titans as well.
And here we go. We do see the effective inbound over the top, if you don't mind. The open look, just missed. Just close to 2 minutes 30 left in our second quarter, and Murray immediately getting involved. Big man, get out of my way. I'm charging through. Layup is there, and a big collision. Foul is called.
And yeah, look, we had two Titans players there with hands down by the end of that play, but both of them very quickly back up on all six. So we're back to it. But yeah, the sheer strength and size of Cody Murray. He's a tricky one to, it's that classic thing. You got a player like that rolling to the basket with intent. You've got to get in there and try and get your chair in front, and that's exactly what happened, but just not quick enough that time to get in front of Cody Murray.
If Murray's in a hurry, get out of the way. And he definitely had a solid look there and got a free throw as an attempt. And it does look like we have a big change here for the Spartans with, we'll see Zach Binns come back on, as well as Dylan Barber.
And look, Dylan Barber, is fresh off that first minutes in the game, but of course played in the 3x3 just before and had that late long two to seal the deal for Spartans in the 3x3. So vibing, and I love it when a player matches shoes to their outfit or uniform, but I love it even more when they match the chair as well, which is exactly what Barber's got going on.
Yeah, 1 from 2 there from Murray with the free throw, and Ethan Laird is also back on for his side. And there he is. He was damaging in the first. He's had a bit of a breather. Kicks it out. We do see teammate Bartley. Back to Laird. And open man, great cut. Board unsuccessful.
And off Higgins' chair again. And that time he didn't really have, there wasn't much he could do. It was tipped there by Seba off Higgins' chair. But still the frustration is real because Higgins knows an extra basket here either way going into halftime can really take away the energy from your team. And that's what you want going into the break.
Yeah, and, viewers, we've talked about it, but the Titans definitely have to be credited for their defensive efforts for this quarter. It's only a 13-point difference. Fighting in the paint. Fullwood unsuccessful, and that's another ball that's gone to their opposition. And you talked about frustration. We did see a few hands on heads there.
Yeah, and not a lot of it was for deep breaths either. It was more frustration than oxygen.
Another substitution here for the Titans. And they'll be bringing in Dylan Robertson for their side. Laird kicking it in, gets the ball back himself. Some quick movement.
Yeah, has great chair control. And of course, Peter Berry and Cody Murray tasked with just keeping Laird away from the ball.
Yep. There we go. The board going the way of the Titans. And there we go. They got it out and they're on. 2 on 3, however. Fatal. Good defense. Gets it up. Unsuccessful. Murray with the rebound. Gets it in himself. And there we go. We talked about offensive rebounds into results. That is positive for the Titans. Laird, once again, he's been very busy with his time on court. He's blocked, however. 3 on 2 here on the close side of our broadcast court. Open look. Shot is there. Rims out. But Laird again with the rebound. Getting lots of opportunities here, Mal, but the shooting percentage has probably gone down since what we saw in the first.
Yeah, look, it's been a little bit tough, but again, Titans just locking down the paint, forcing those longer shots, and they're not dropping here for the Spartans. And Titans able to push the ball up the floor once more, but that Peter Berry long bomb will not drop for him.
Yeah, Berry was wide open, however, and with a little bit of a score deficit, he'll take any opportunity he can to lock some points up. And scoreline here as we have less than a minute to go. Laird to bring it in. We feel they'll be probably taking their time here. Yep, jacking it up from 3. Oh, bounces out. Laird with the board. 1 on 2. Fighting in the paint. Ethan Laird. Terrific effort.
Yeah, look, certainly is. He's been the squadron leader here for the Spartans this season. When he's been playing great, they've played great. He can, as we've seen already, he's really leads the team in so many areas, and he can, fire away from 3. He can hustle in on fast breaks, both offensively and defensively, and can fight with the best of them inside the paint for difficult rebounds.
Yep. Oh, that's a block. Fatal. And we have 15 seconds left here on the shot clock. Charging out. Sees an open man. Time is taking less than 10 seconds. Nakia holding it up. Kicks it to an open man. 1-on-1. And it is good. 3 seconds left. And that there will be the end of the quarter. And solid effort there from the Titans at a 29-20 scoreline as we go into halftime, viewers. And my goodness, Mal, we have a bit of a fight on our hands.
We do, and it's great to see. Obviously, Spartans came out with a 21-9 first quarter, and we weren't sure what we were going to see. Were we going to see a Titans fight back? Were we going to see a Spartans, continuation and roll on with it? But there was definitely moments for the Spartans, but that was Titans quarter, and it was built on the back of their defense, pushing the Spartans out to make forcing longer shots than they potentially felt comfortable. But they've come away and they've won that quarter 11 points to 8. So they've eaten into the lead, but still some work to be done here in this second half of basketball. But they've got to be loving the energy they'll take into this halftime huddle. It's got to be good, especially with that basket just before the halftime break.
Yeah, too easy, viewers. And speaking of halftime huddles, go get yourself a cool beverage, something to eat, as we have a cracking second half here, ready to go live for your Friday afternoon into the evening of basketball. Dylan and Mal will be back live soon with our third quarter not too far away. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back here to our round 7 clash between the Titans and the Spartans. It's a close one thus far, only 9 points in it. Dylan Kimlin, Mal Crawford here in the booth with you for your Friday evening. And Mal, we got some stats for our viewers, and let's go through them all.
Look, we do, and and we've jumped on the website, of course, wba.net.au, and don't forget you can jump on there anytime for news, fixtures, and informations on all the teams. But I think the big standout for me for Southern District Spartans is Gus Alios Alonso. He's played just 7 minutes and 23 seconds, has 12 points for Spartans, but we haven't seen him in the second quarter. And look where he's sitting right now. Behind the coach, we may not see him back on the court again, so there might be an injury or something there, but definitely a huge piece missing for the Spartans if we don't see him back on the court shortly.
Geez, talk about time. Time is money. He's gone and got all those points in just 7 minutes, and on the side of the Titans, it looks like Peter Berry has also been pretty prolific from the shooting side.
Look, he certainly has. He's up to 13 points now. Peter Berry averages 14.8 per game, so he's almost got his game averages covered in the first half of basketball. So, Peter Berry's in a position where he could literally just go absolutely in fuego for the rest of the game, and he's one of those players who isn't going to feel bad about putting up shots. He's got that classic shooter's mentality. If he's open, it's going up, baby.
And there's the big man. Gus is on. And we mentioned earlier he was super involved in the first. Didn't get much in it. Tap in. Oh, and the officials have called it. And our starters here for the Spartans, we will see Daniel Anstey, Ethan Laird, Mitchell Duncan, Jack Fullwood, and Gus Lejos Alonso. In opposition here with the Titans. And there's that court press we talked about. Alonso flicking it off to his opposition. Now there is Braden Packer. Nice recovery from, unfortunately for Peter Berry, who sees that one over.
Yeah, look, it is a very classical wheelchair way of picking up that basketball, which of course anyone who's new to the game may not have seen. Pin it to the wheel and let the wheel do all the work, but Peter Berry just fumbled it at the top when it came to collect and wasn't able to come away. But Cody Murray, speaking of, is able to do that now for Titans.
Yeah, Murray with the quick kick out. And here we go, a one-on-one opportunity. Berry retrieving the ball, scrambling defense from the opposition. There's Murray once more, getting himself involved. Nakaya racking up the boards. Laird with the steal leader for his side. And here we go on a 2v3. Doesn't opt to go for the big man, instead with the easy layup. And Laird with 8 to his name.
Now that is an absolute piece of, an amazing piece of chair work there. 2 defenders, and he was just able to dummy the passes and make it look like he was going to do other things and get 2 points for his team.
And we've got a foul called here on the side of the Titans and their starters. We will see Reese Higgins, Nakaya Falatau, Curry Murray, who we mentioned earlier, Braden Packer, and Peter Berry. And we'll see our officials just having a chat. As always, big thank you to Beluga Foundation for getting behind our league. And speaking of leagues, the Carina Leagues Club would be loving the battle between the Titans and the Spartans.
And we've got an unsportsmanlike foul here. I believe that might be, it's either going to go on, Daniel Anstey. Daniel Anstey it is who's picked that one up, and basically foul going after the player, not making an obvious enough attempt, according to the referee, for going for the ball, and there was no other defenders between him and the basket. So It's a fast break kind of call. We don't see it too often that far down the court, but obviously one's the referees discussed and thought, no, that's the rule, we need to call it.
Yeah, fair enough too, and as always, a big thank you to our officials for keeping things running smoothly, as we are seeing some free throw attempts here, very unsuccessful. And we talked about banner on the court, these two sides showing that this game means business in a must-win match here for the Spartans. We will see the inbound with Nakaya to bring it in. The captain having the ball, and he's had plenty of it thus far. 5 boards to his name. Kicks it out to Berry once more with the 3, and the swish. That is a nice shot and less than 10 digits. Here we go.
Yeah, and like we talked about earlier, Berry's averaged 14.8 points a game. Well, now he's on 16. Already has his average covered.
And this here is a 4-on-5. And we see shot goes in there for Fullwood.
Yeah, Higgins in the backcourt with hands down. And Ethan Laird, even though they're on the other team, comes down. Gives him a help up. And he's back on all 6 now.
And let us continue. We will see Packer flinging it out. And there is Berry once more. Retrieves it off of his teammate. Unorthodox, that'll work. Gus on the defensive effort. Plenty of screens here. And there he is once more. Open look. Murray with the board, and that is good. A nice little offensive run here for the Titans.
And what a dime by Packer. Just caught the ball, waited for the defense to show a little bit of interest, and obviously saw Cody Murray cutting. And just up over the top, Murray for 2.
Collision there. Shot goes up. And I believe the foul will be called. Berry's defending his case, and Mal, I don't know how often that actually works.
I can tell you right now, I've seen Berry try and defend his case and argue his case in all the home games here so far, and he's 0 for about 14.
Yeah, not the best percentage in that one, Peter, but his shooting percentage is definitely something to be proud about. And first one in there for Fullwood, who's been very serviceable thus far throughout this match. The second one, no good. Murray with the board.
Always the way, though, when you talk positively about someone when they're on the free throw line.
Commentators curse, mate. And here we go, Berry with the ball. Screen. Good defensive effort, flings it out. And unfortunately, pass too long there for his teammate Packer, who it does seem that Braden's been getting a fair bit more of the ball here this quarter, Mel.
Yeah, it does so far. Ooh, kicked ahead to Laird, tipped.
Whoa, big collision. The 2 big lads going head to head. We talked about Murray in a hurry. He's gone immediately for Gus, who's just checking his elbow.
And it's like the conversation we had with Thomas Kyle ahead of the game. You know, everyone's chair's going to be hit. You're going to have contact, and you got to expect to hit the floor at some point. But if you're on the Spartans crew, you're probably hoping it's not a fast-moving Murray that hits you to the ground, because he has got some bulk in those shoulders.
And oh, look at the swift movement. And one. What a play there from Laird.
Yeah, the chair control we've talked about before, and just able to hold onto that ball and use his body strength to weave the chair where he needed it to go without then having to retouch wheels and cause that travel. Absolutely amazing by Laird. And he gets the foul. Gives it the old and heads to the stripe as well.
No, you love to see it, and beautiful movement there as he goes up for the 3 throw. Doesn't get it. Fartal with the board. And a little bit of spice going on here in our third. 2-on-2 opportunity. Big collision. Ball's up. Whistle is blown, and there's a bit of feeling in this one, Mal.
Yeah, look, it's going to... both teams are pushing and hustling, and when it's tight, it's going to get scrappy. There's smiles on the face in between the plays at different point, but there's certainly less smiles here in the start of this third quarter than there was in the second quarter. So, like I talked about before, both teams, they've had this one circled. This is the one they've both been after. And now it's here, and neither team wants to back down, and both of them really showing up late here in this, early here in this first, let's try that again. Early here in the second half. We got there eventually.
And unfortunately for Nakaya, he's been kept scoreless thus far throughout this match. He's been racking the boards up, however. But Gus, he is like a bull at a gate, charging in. Open look. Oh, Jack Fullwood has been shooting very cleanly this quarter. And that brings up his next scoreline. He's been racking it up as well in a very healthy.
And he was desperately trying to pick the pocket there. Oh, we've got a foul on Gus, but I love it when you see the basket and the straightaway turnaround hustle defense, like we saw there from forward, unfazed by the fact that it's Peter Berry with the ball, and obviously Peter Berry can play very good basketball, but forward was like, no, I'm staying in front of you, and almost forced to turn over as that ball was passed ahead to Nakia Fatawa, and who was pinned in the front court, right in the corner, but there was a foul there by Gus Elias Alonso to give Titans back the ball and an opportunity to eat back into this now re-stretched Spartans lead.
Yeah, we've got a collision. Recovery is there, though. And speaking of Fullwood, he's currently got himself 5 points and 4 boards, and Laird in the paint, 1-on-2. Big clash. And we are watching some tough play on display for your Friday evening, and it's going to be like this all weekend, viewers, with streams across Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and we hope you're enjoying the broadcast wherever you may be tuning in around the country. I know we are definitely enjoying watching this fiery battle. In a 13-point difference, we've seen substitutions from both sides. And we can hear there that Jordan Barley's coming on, as well as his teammate, as that is kicked out. And we do see Bartley, who we just mentioned, with the ball. Kicks it back to teammate Gus. Gus with the shot. And that one will go out.
Yeah, look, Titans looking to re-establish that lockdown paint defense, but unable to do it quite that time with Ethan Laird. Putting a great screenshot on one of their players at the top, and it just created a little bit of a chink in the armour of Titans, and then from there they were on the back foot trying to hustle and weren't able to do so, but coming away with the ball now.
Oh, big collision, and we've had a clash, and we can see Seba not agreeing with that call out. After all those substitutions, viewers, we currently have for the Spartans Anstey, Laird, Seba, Duncan and Gus Alejas Alonso on the court, and for their opposition in the Titans, we will see Brant North, Reese Higgins, Nakia Fatal, Jordan Williams and Peter Berry.
And of course, Gus Elias Alonso there was able to get in front and have that wheel 90 degrees to the offensive attacker, hence why the was able to get the blocking or the charge call going the other way. So, Peter Berry now.
A dangerous man, Berry, with the ball, who's been racking it up early thus far. We've got a collision at centre court. Play will continue. Kick is there. Official has called it, and that was Reese Higgins with the ball when the whistle was blown. 13-point difference. Just over 5 minutes to go. We will see the inbound here from Brant North. He was called against not too long ago. Inbound is there, and there's Captain Fatal. Holding it up. Good defensive effort. He's left wide open, though. Takes the shot, and in. There's his first for the game. And that is a positive sign for the captain. Can he build?
Yeah, look, Spartans relying on man-to-man defense there, but the long-range shot rendering it fairly mute.
Oh, that hit every part of the rim, and Gus will take it. Gets another one on his board, and that's one way to quieten down momentum, and immediately with the steal, cuts across to his mate Laird, who flicks it in, and that there is a coach killer from the defensive inbound, and they've gone for it again. Gus can't be stopped.
Expect to see a timeout shortly. It looks like Coach Thomas Kyle has done exactly that.
And Higgins, North, kicking it out to captain Nakia. Berry slowing things down, takes the three, just rims out. And Alonso will see it out, and here's that timeout we were anticipating. Yep. So if you're in the coaching staff right now, Mel, what would you be talking about?
Look, if I'm Thomas Kyle of the Titans, I really want to talk about just, those little things. Securing the ball, simple passes. There's no need to, throw into a 2-on-1 position or, and you've got to give whoever's out of bounds to pass the ball in, they've got to have, you've got to get open and spread the floor. And you can't really scoot up the floor. You can't have everybody scooting up the floor if you've got 4 chairs back, hustling on the defensive end. So, it's a really tricky situation, but it's also really simple. Hence the timeout, and I'm sure it'll look a lot cleaner in the next couple of minutes because it'll be they'll put something in place. But again, Spartans have looked the best when they've brought the full court pressure all the way up the floor. It's that sort of thing. This is when they've looked at their best. How have they been able to do that? Push the full court defense, get steals, quick baskets, and then do it again, either back to back or over, building pressure and really forcing Titans to spend a lot of time bringing the ball up. Which that's more the sort of pressure we saw in that first quarter. Now we're seeing Titans, breaking down and throwing very quick turnovers. So very, very intelligent time out there from Thomas Kyle. Try and stop the bleeding, have a chat, put something simple in place, and then go again. But look, I wouldn't be surprised if we see probably Cody Murray and Peter Berry hanging back, looking for those, looking to get those easy inbounds here to start the next couple of possessions.
And they've started with immediate intent with the 3-point attempt. And we have had some substitutions, viewers, for our sides. We do see a big pass and an open look, but the defense is solid there. Fatal kicking it across to his mate Berry, who gets the ball up. No foul call, gets his own board. No, it is racked up. And Peter pleading his case once more. We will see a jump ball here as a solid battle. And viewers, our players now, after these rotations of sides, we will see that was Jordan Bartley having a close clash, and Berry flinging it up, goes long. Recovery there on the side of Bartley, who I just mentioned, streaming in. 3-on-3. He's got all the time in the world here. He kicks out to his teammate in Binns. Back to Bartley.
Of course, Titans back in that zone. 1-2-2 zone, and that's led to the Peter Berry steal inside, but locking down the paint, not allowing Spartans in.
How good was that? That was like almost a relay. You mentioned about how the Titans haven't been able to get it out of their defensive half of the court, but there they had multiple men along the way, and they could get it out across. And we've had a official blow here, but clearly the coaching staff seeing what we're seeing here on our broadcast, viewers.
Yeah, look, 27 plays of 42, Titans v Spartans, but Titans now find themselves in the bonus, and Spartans will on the next foul. It's 5 plays 4 on the foul front, so both teams will effectively be in the bonus for the last 3 minutes 30 of the quarter.
Lineups thus far, viewers, for the Titans. We do see North, Charles Smart, Fatal, Murray and Berry in their opposition here with the Spartans. We do see Jordan Bartley, Ethan Laird, Seba, Duncan, and who else have they got there? Zach Binns, who's bringing it in as we speak. No, I've made a mistake because Jack Thomas is out there, Dylan, and there can't be 6 players on the court. Either way, Berry will bring it in. And he is streaming in. Collision is there. And the officials have been busy throughout this spicy quarter. But it's fair to say the Spartans have done well to keep this offensive pressure on.
Yep. We're heading to the stripe, just like I talked about just before. Next foul for Spartans will force the bonus shots. And there it is. Peter Berry heading to the stripe for a couple.
Yeah, Berry thus far has been racking it up. But this particular quarter, it's been difficult for the Titans to score, considering that second quarter they were lights out. First free throw is good. Berry brings up his 17th point.
Had 13 points in the first half. Had that 3 very early on, but it's been quiet since.
Doesn't get the second. Gets his own board, though. Collision is there. Good defensive effort from the Spartans, and Leard will bring us in here on the inbound. Open man, yeah, there he is. That is Zach Binns streaming in. An immediate scrambling defense here for the Titans. Spartans have got plenty of room. Laird has been very prolific thus far. Beats one, beats two. Opts for the layup and jacks it up.
Look, that Hayden Seabar screen was absolutely phenomenal there to get Laird half a wheel. That's all he needed to fire in, get into the paint. He's got absolute shotgun-style speed. And once he got into the paint, was able to get something up, draw the contact and the foul, and get himself to the stripe. But it all comes back to that Seabar screen.
And this young man has had an absolute doozy of a matchup thus far, viewers. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals to his name. That is Ethan Laird, and he just got his 13th point as well. Stat stuffer, Mel.
Absolutely, and you'll see that, across Ethan Laird's season. He's currently 9th in the league for assists, 3rd in the league for made threes, 5th in the league for made free throws, and 7th in the league in steals with 1.9 a game. So can absolutely do everything required for the Spartans and doing it at a higher level across this season.
Oh, Murray with the grab. Good control, unable to get the board, and we've got a foul there and a big collision, but we will see the Spartans bringing it in again. And
I think we're going to see Seabar head to the stripe all the way down the other end on the back of that Cody Murray foul.
Well, you talk about effective meters gained, viewers, in sports, and that there is probably the highest you could get, with opposition in Seabar immediately just taking a stroll all the way down from the paint to the opposition's paint. And Seabar's been pretty handy today as well, as the board unsuccessful. A couple of points to his name and a couple of rebounds as well. We do see here the lone man in Brant North immediately streamed out, but Ethan Laird was all over it.
Yeah,
there it is again.
Yeah, the Bugsy screen has worked well. And look, the 1-2, the flip by Peter Berry over the back has led to the Cody Murray basket, but that all comes back to Bugsy Brent North getting down the court and then coming back with that back pick.
A bit sneaky, and Laird recognised it, but solid offense there from the Titans regardless. Ethan with the ball, Murray all over him. 2-on-2, steal attempt is solid there from Charles Smart, who's all over Laird once more. Screen is there. Nakaya over the top. Laird getting through. And the defense from the Titans, look at that bench. They are getting around their boys, as we have just over 2 minutes here in the third.
Yeah, look, and it's that sort of thing too. There might be a 15-point lead for the Spartans here, but the energy that the Titans bench has is exactly what you want from your team in this position, or even if you were down by 2 or up by 10. Like, there's the exact energy you want from the Spartans bench. Oh,
you love to see it, and I got to say, just like you mentioned, the scoreline right now, it's irrelevant. The Spartans are fired up, and they're playing some inspired defense as a result, but they've also been trying some different offensive things as well, which is always good to see teams adapting as we have a timeout here, viewers.
Yeah, look, and I'm loving, like we saw, the Bugsy Brent North, hustle back, the back pick for Peter Berry, because, let's be honest, Peter Berry and your Cody Murrays and your Nakia Fa'atauas, they're the exact right players you want to get open in those one-on-one situations. But Bugsy doing a great job getting into a perfect position with that screen, and it led. It came about because of the 20 seconds before. He knew, got out early, read it well, put his chair right where it needed to be for what was going to develop. So look, sometimes you have hustle like Ethan Laird, flying up the court defensively, and sometimes just a clever Nousy player like Brent North, can be absolutely what you need to lift the energy, get the squad pumping, and back in the game.
Yeah, and back in the game we go here. And there's that big fling in. Murray retrieving the ball on a 2-on-2. 1-on-3 here. That may have been a little bit ambitious from Berry, and a bit of a tussle there. Laird fighting for it. Murray getting involved, and ooh, there's a bit of fire here as we've got a chopping of the arms, and Laird immediately going to his bench to have a little bit of words of encouragement from Coach Kyle. He's probably loving the fired-up play thus far.
A little bit of spice in this one. Like we've talked about all game, this is the rounds where it's been circled by both teams. Obviously Titans yet to win a game, but these squads have trained with each other throughout the year and different things like that. So they very much know each other's games and different things, their tendencies, their likes, their abilities, and most importantly, what they don't like. And this is the sort of time where you'll really see that in games, where players will be forced in ways and pushed in areas where they don't want to be. And look, we saw that there with Laird with the chop across the arms. He didn't seem to much like it, and Cody Murray seemed to enjoy the fact that he didn't like it, which is, and I'm sure it'll be all back to normal once the game's over. But for right now, it's exactly what you want to see as a fan. A little bit of spice and a bit of hustle.
Yes,
both teams, a bit of energy.
And we talked about Murray. He did get substituted off after that collision, and he's been off for Jordan Williams, who just had the ball. Laird with the ball again, kicking it out to teammate Bardley. On the wide side, we do see Zach Binns with the ball. Back to Bardley. Ball is up. Laird and a 1v2 gets the layup up and in. Terrific offense there from the Spartans.
And look, that was still really good defense there from Charles Smart. Sometimes it's just better offense, and that was one of those occasions because the defense was right there. It was in the face. And speaking of smart decisions, there's Ethan Laird doing a great job of getting his chair squared up, stopped in front, and drew the offensive foul on Charles Smart.
And speaking of Charles Smart, he's in. We did have a couple substitutions earlier here for the Titans viewers, with Smart coming in. We do see Laird, who's had his paws all over the ball thus far. We've got just over a minute to go in this one. Third quarter, good battle, 17-point difference. Open look. Ooh, just short, and the layup unsuccessful. And the shot clock, and unsuccessful there for Bardley. We will see Braden Packer bring it in once more. And there's a 1-on-2, and this is what we talked about earlier, Mal. Just difficult to get out of their own defensive side, and that's a nice pass there for Berry.
Well, it can be, and last time we had this situation for the Titans, Berry fires one away and pops it in. There was something similar then as well, and that's Cody Murray on the bench. So he's obviously a big piece in there. Get out of jail free card sometimes for the Titans.
And Berry did slot that amazing three, but Zach Binns immediately responds. Nice cut to the paint, and this here is what we're talking about. The troubles for the Titans have been getting out, but you can see big man in Jordan Williams with the ball, kicks it out to Captain Nakia with some smart play just outside the paint. And we've had a collision, but the ball, I believe, will go the way of the Titans. We can see our mate Berry's immediately gone over to the official. Give me the ball. So he's 1 from 15 now. Mal, with our discussions for our officials. It looks like we have Fatal to bring it in again. He had some free throws earlier today. Let's see if he can slot these ones. First one is good. Positive signs for the captain.
Yeah, look, and it hasn't necessarily been Titans quarter like we talked about, but they've still stuck with it and hustled and shown good energy.
And 2 from 2 there for Nakaya. And got 13 seconds here, viewers. Let's see what the Spartans can conjure up. They've had some terrific offense throughout this quarter. Kicks it out. Surveying the scene. Laird to bring it in again. 3 seconds to go. Whistle is blown. And the Titans will get it. Solid defensive effort. We've got not much time at all. We'll see the inbound here. And do they have enough time here, Mal, to jack a shot up?
They do, but it's going to have to go quick, and I think you're better off to do exactly what Nakia Fawatawa did there. Just hold on to it. It was a bit too far, realistically. So, and he didn't have great chair position in that sense of, the defender wasn't in a good spot to try and draw a foul off a long bomb, which you do occasionally see when now they're coach killers. When your defender, draws a foul on a situation like that, when it's a end of quarter heave, they absolutely murder coaches for good reason.
And both of our coaches, the Kyles, are having a good old yarn with their sides, and it is a 51-35 scoreline here with the Spartans just ahead of their Korean Leagues club. What would you call them? They're the buddies on court, their brothers on court. I don't know. Either way, it's been a bit of a sibling rivalry now. Think about it, with how they've been going at each other.
It certainly has. And we talked about the 3x3 ahead of time, and it was fantastic to see the rest of the squads, just sitting at halftime and really showing that little bit more brotherly love, the banter side of it, that kind of thing. But now it's a little bit more of that, it's a bit of a grudge match, sort of brotherly love sort of situation where, there might be a little bit of blood, but that's not necessarily going to mean it's a foul. Sort of, a real hustle here from these men coming into the last quarter of action. But if we look at the way the game's gone so far, 21-9 in that first quarter, and then in that third quarter, Titans able to come back. But 7-point lead for the Spartans in the third overall. Once again, it was a little bit more of a scoring fiesta with 35 points coming from the entire quarter, more than any other quarter we've had so far here today. But again, it was the Spartans stretching things out. So it's 35 plays 51, 16-point lead for Spartans. And Titans really need to lock down defensively, get some steals early. But Gus Alonso is on the floor. And for Spartans, that's a good sign. For Titans, not so great.
Yeah, danger signs, as we do see the ball here going the way of the Titans. And Murray, who we mentioned, who was so prolific earlier, kicks it out to his teammate Peter Berry, who has been all over it thus far. Nice pass to captain Fatal, but that goes out in our starting 5 here for both sides. In our fourth, viewers, we will see Higgins, Fatal, Murray, who we just mentioned, and Packer and Berry. And for the Spartans, we will see Bartley, Seba, Duncan, Binns, and the big man Gus, who's been racking it up thus far. What's his minutes count thus far? Bell?
For Gus Alonso, he is back up to 12 minutes and 50 seconds. So, look, when he's been out there, he's looked good, but can't help but think there might be a little bit of an injury, or Coach Tom Kyle potentially saving him a little bit for the next 2 games here in this round, because it's going to be a big round. And like we've sort of alluded to, Spartans need to win all their games. Red Dust, the other games that need to sort of break their way is Red Dust need to lose all their games this round. Then it will effectively be a tie on points, and Spartans will win on head-to-head points in that situation. But if you're the Spartans, all of that is irrelevant, because all you need to do is focus on what you can control, and right now that is making sure you secure all 3 wins over the hometown rivals of the guys across the street, the guys you've trained with, but the Titans. So that's what they need to do here in this fourth quarter. Just get this home.
And this here is the battle that I want to watch, is between Murray and Alejos Alonso, because those two earlier in our matchup, viewers, if you're just tuning in, it was fiery. As we have a nice cut here. Ball goes up, rebound is recovered. Bardley flinging it up. Gus gets his own board once more. And we talked about minutes earlier today. Peter Berry has had over half an hour now on our court. He's been running amok. And speaking of running amok, good board there from Gus and gets it in. Murray, the big man, will bring the inbound in. His captain, Nakia Fatal, also over half an hour here with minutes played, and it just goes to show how much this win means for these gentlemen. Peter Berry with the ball. There's his captain I just before mentioned, putting his hand up. One-on-one in the paint. And
with that last basket there for Gus Leos Alonso, he now goes to 16 points. His average is normally 15. One's long, but his average is normally 15, and he's only done it on 14 minutes of court time. So been monster here today for the Spartans.
Yeah, talk about fuel efficiency. Geez, Gus has been running premium. And we do see Bardley getting more involved here in this fourth. Kicks it up. And Berry, again, all over it. It's fair to say he has earned his minutes tonight. Nice pass there. Oh, unfortunately, just through the hands there of Fatal, but you can see the intent.
Yeah, look, fast break was definitely on, and it was just purely came down to the defensive hustle there, I believe, of Jordan Bartley on Peter Berry. Created that little bit of extra space, and then, of course, Peter Berry just couldn't get the pass he wanted right in front of Kia Fatal.
And here's Binns, top of the key, nails it. Solid shot there.
And he's been fantastic all year for this Spartan squad.
See, that's a dangerous pass there, Mal. That was a 1-on-3. I know Barry's been prolific thus far, but just a low percentage pass. So we do see a timeout here on the side of the Spartans. Just under 7 minutes to go. And can we expect any craziness at the final portions of this match?
Oh, always. It's basketball. Always, for sure. But if we go back to our pre-game chat we had with Tom Kyle of the Spartans, he wanted to be fast early. I think Spartans definitely did that in that first quarter. They got out, they really hustled, not just on the offensive end where it's easy, but on the defensive end where it's really hard. They really got out early, gave that hustle. They wanted offensive push. I think for the most part, they haven't necessarily, yes, they've got a 20-point lead. They haven't looked as necessarily as free-flowing as they have in some other games, but I think that's purely down to the Titans, locking down the paint and, throwing something a little bit different out these Spartans. And, of course, the final one was, give full respect, and I think they've done that very much so throughout this game. They, at no stage have they looked like they've taken it easy. They've given respect to the Titans here and came out and hustled. So far, even with 6:55 left, I think we can tick all three of those things off Coach Tom Kyle's wish list coming into the game. But of course, it's 20 points. Crazy stuff can happen. Titans can come back here, but they're going to need to stop here early as we see Peter Berry hit the floor.
Yeah, and viewers, it does look like from that timeout there hasn't been any substitutions from either side, so good to see the coaches just bringing everyone in for a bit of a motivational huddle. I said, fellas, get back out there and continue to battle. Less than 7 minutes to go here in our fourth quarter at a 20-point difference in a must-win here for the Spartans. This man has been all over it thus far in his minimal minutes. Kicks it out to his teammate in Binns, who has been lightning this quarter. Nailed another one from deep. Nice field goal percentage for him thus far, Mal.
Yeah, and that's the second bucket in a row for the Spartans through Binns. That's a great lead pass there to Cody Murray.
Yeah, the solid break there, and I think Gus just wasn't anticipating it as Murray gets through for probably the easiest shot of his career. Nice charge here from Bardley. And this here has been the danger spot, viewers, in the last 5-10 minutes. Big collision. And that there has gone against
That'll be Higgins drawing that foul.
Yeah.
And, yeah, just a little too aggressive there. Trying to, of course, close out on Gus Alonso, who is an offensive threat from anywhere. But, yeah, Higgins just a little bit too aggressive, trying to close the space.
Big pass. Opting not to take it. Kicks it out. There he is again. Can he get it for a third? No, he can't. Sheesh, I was going to say Binns was on a heat check. Captain Nakai with the board once more. He's been prolific on the defensive board portion thus far. Berry with the screen and gets his own cut. Opts to take his time. Jacks it up. Solid defensive effort. There he is once more. Binns has been very involved here in this fourth. Bartley to bring it out and streaming out. We do see the Spartans in unison. Streaming through.
And again, Titans continuing to play this 1-2-2 zone, continuing to try and lock down the paint and force Spartans to shoot from outside.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, you can understand it, right? It's just Binns has been pretty crack shot from it thus far. Nice pass. We do see a 4-on-3 here. The Spartans streaming through. Nice cut, open look. Shot is unsuccessful. Take two off the board, if you don't mind. That there is Braden Packer. Offensive board, gets the two. And a lot more free-flowing, it seems, this last 5 minutes here, Mel.
Yeah, look, both teams getting out, really pushing the fast break, able to get chairs moving and flowing, which, of course, only needs one or two, and all of a sudden there's just so much more space on the floor. But Packer now with the ball at the top of the point.
Yeah, and we do see him kicking off to teammate Berry. But Packer been thoroughly involved. Captain Nakai getting it once more, and then there's a solid screen from teammate Higgins. Block is there. Big collision. Block there from Zach Binns. Has been very busy here in this fourth. Scoreline here of 57-39, viewers, with less than 5 minutes to go in our fourth quarter. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. It's been an absolute blast calling it for you in this battle here between the Titans and the Spartans. And the broadcast all weekend will be a doozy, viewers. Make sure you come back and watch our other feature matches this weekend.
There'll be live action coming to you from Roland Cowan all weekend with not just, of course, Spartans and Titans games tomorrow, but, of course, the NBL 1 North, the women's finals tomorrow night. So get down here early and just stay.
Yeah.
Great spot to camp out all weekend.
Yeah, it's good to see. And great turnout from our spectators as we have Berry kicking it out. And there we go, Nakai with a layup. Oh, bounced out, unlucky off the rim there. Binns again. Held back, kicks it out to teammate Bartley.
And Titans had the bye last week, and a lot of them showed up here to watch the Spartans, which was also great to see as well.
We talked about team camaraderie. And despite the fierce play on court, you almost expect that though, right? If you do get along with someone, you're going to try your heart out on court. Defensive pressure here, and nice kick from Murray. Here we go, the line is on, layup is there, and he nails it this time. That's better there from Captain Nakaya.
Yeah, look, and if anything, that's how you show respect. You don't take it easy. You don't take it for granted. You push. You're always going to push your mates and friends, if anything, harder.
Yeah.
And again, that just shows respect from squad to squad, from player to player. So, and that's exactly what we've seen here today.
Yeah, and Fa'atao getting that one on the board. He has 4 points, 9 boards, and 2 assists to his name. And here we go, another break. Berry taking his time. Definitely took his time there, made sure he had the shot lined up.
And that's another assist for Nakia Fa'atao.
Geez, Peter Berry low-key on a double-double, viewers, with 13 boards and 22 points to his name. Terrific night out here on the courts. Jordan Bartley streaming in. Takes the shot off the glass. Unsuccessful. Board is there, however. Scrambling defense. Binns. Kick it out. That there is teammate Duncan. Binns once more. And we do see Fa'atao to bring it in. And the break is on once more. Opts to not take it. And there we go, Berry. The 1-2 tandem between these two is definitely noticeable. And we do have a foul. 2 minutes to go here in our fourth, viewers. in what has been a good one.
And again, we've talked about some screens at different points, but that Reece Higgins screen there was absolutely fantastic from him. Saw it, came over, gave the back screen on the defender, and that allowed the open cut to the basket. But we're seeing some late subs here, and with 2:02, can't help but think, this certainly isn't white flag sort of stuff, but there's a 24 points differential, and there's still 2 more games to go this round. So some tactical play here from Thomas Kyle.
Yep, fair enough. And as we start to slowly wind down this one, Mal, who do you reckon would be your player of the match thus far?
Oh, look, I really like Ethan Laird's play. He's been absolutely fantastic. He's not on the court right now, of course, but Garcileos Alonso for the Spartans in limited minutes has been absolutely monster. But always hard, of course, to go past a double-double for Titans' Peter Berry. So there's definitely a couple of candidates in the mix for that one. As Binns fires away once more.
Yeah, that's a fair shout. I mean, it's been great effort as that shot there unsuccessful off the hands of Dylan Barber. And Berry with a big collision. Jeez, he is throwing everything on the court. Someone's lunchbox has gone flying there in our spectators' booth. And we've got a lot of players here that have been playing the local matches around the courts here this evening, coming down to support our players. Looks like we do have a timeout on court, and Binns will go for a breather, I believe. And there's the man, Ethan Laird. High fives all round. He's pleased with his side.
And as he should be. They've done enough now with a minute 04 left on. Spartans have done enough, and they've done it early, and they've done it often, and they've done it a little bit by committee, which is, of course, what you want to do coming into this kind of situation. You've got Garcileos Alonso with 16, Ethan Laird with 18, Jake Fullwood, captain, on 7. Jake Fullwood was captain last round. Jordan Bartley captain here tonight, according to what we've got. But Jordan Bartley on 7, Zach Binns on 7, and Jake Fullwood on 7. Really sharing it around, and of course Hayden Sieber chucking in a couple as well. So that the fact that they're able to do it by committee, really helps, of course, with the next 2 games ahead, but also kind of sums up the way Spartans have done it all year.
Yep.
It hasn't been Ethan Laird, of course, has been big, in a lot of their games, but it's been a case of pure committee. You can't just do it with one amazing player.
Yep.
At any level of the game, this game of basketball, you can't do it with one. It has to be done by committee, and that's exactly what Spartans have been able to do here today.
Yeah, and I mean, it's almost fitting, the team name of Spartans. You immediately think of camaraderie and teams in unison, and they've done that exactly from the offensive side of the court. As we do see play recommence, less than a minute here in our 4th quarter, and this man has been all over it. Gets the shot off the glass, unsuccessful. Board, however, and blocked. Binns with the defensive effort, and he's trying to plead his case once more. He's been successful once tonight, so we'll give it to him. We've got to admire the effort.
And a little bit of celebrity watch here in the stadium, of course. We've got a couple of former and current NWBL players in Tiana Munkahia in the house watching this Spartans-Titans matchup. And, of course, Jess McDowell-White is in the house today. As at least one McDowell-White is almost every day here at Southern Districts. But now look, and they will, of course, be in action in the NBL 1 North finals tomorrow night, which will be after the Spartans and Titans second game.
Jeez, it is a doozy of a weekend for the basketball fans around the country, and we hope you enjoy tuning in. Mal, you be calling any of those matches, mate?
Not here at Spartans. I'll be across the street with at the Capitals as they host the Sunshine Coast Phoenix, which are, funnily enough, very much a local rival here of the Southern District Spartans.
Oh, there we go. We won't mention it, viewers. We'll keep everyone at home calm. as we have a nice layup there on the side of Seba and jacks it up. Berry has been running riot thus far and cuts it down to an 11-point difference, but it has to be said the time is running out, less than 20 seconds to go. Big cut, Binns with the ball up and responds immediately. This is a fiery way to end our matchup, what we very much expected from the Spartans v Titans matchup. And it looks like Titans will get the final shot up, but our officials will see to it with 7 seconds to go.
Yeah, Seba ping for that foul. Doesn't necessarily love the call late, but, you know, show me a player who's like, yep, no, yeah. I love that foul. That was all me.
Yeah.
You know, it's a rarity to say the least. So, and like we like to talk about a lot of foul face. Seba giving a little bit of that great. Oh, hang on. What? On me?
Me?
What? What? No, sir. What about the other guy?
Berry will bring it in. The ball is gobbled up there from Bartley. And it looks like he will just see it through in this solid battle here between the Titans v Spartans. The Titans taking the lead and the victory at a 61-48 scoreline. Live here at Roland Cowan Centre here in Brisbane. It's been a terrific matchup here on our Friday round 7 match. Mal, it's been a doozy calling this one, mate. Anything that really screamed out to you before we close things out?
Look, I think it was the team effort from Spartans. Not having to use Gus Elios, Alonso and Ethan Baird late was absolutely crucial for them. Titans, at times, they won that second quarter. Technically, they've come out and won the fourth as well. I know Spartans, slowed up a little bit, but still they've won 2 of the 4 quarters. That's very important, moving into the next couple of games. But I think Spartans have done a good job of ticking off Coach Tom Kyle's, real laundry list. Those 3 things he wanted to do was, respect, get out early, and hustle offensively, which they definitely were able to do. 2 of those 3, no question, and the 3rd one most of the time. So, not too bad from the Spartans here, but they do need both victories.
Yes.
And of course, they do need Red Dust to come short in all 3 of their round games. But if they can do that, they'll be tied. And then, of course, Spartans will go through to their first finals, which will, of course, be held down in Manly in a couple of weekends' time. So, obviously, Spartans are, they need some results, but they got out, they hustled, they've got the first victory. They're still, they're doing what they need to do, and they're still in charge of their own destiny. So, until they aren't, they've got to get out and hustle, and that's exactly what they did in this game.
Yeah, and that is exactly right. The Spartans keep their season alive in this 6v7 battle here for your Friday evening. Viewers, we are going to close down the broadcast here on the Wheelchair Basketball Australia YouTube channel. If you haven't yet, please subscribe for all the fantastic matches we have continuing on this weekend. Once again, a big thank you to Beluga Foundation for getting behind our league, and of course the Carina Leagues clubs for supporting our 2 teams on court. Dylan Kimlin, Mal Crawford calling the match for you here this evening. It's been an absolute blast, and we hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.